Great to have you with us at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, albeit on a rainy day in the Japanese capital. In racing parlance, the track is wet but fast at the National Stadium, and perhaps in these conditions the athletes will be even keener to get the job done quickly. Won't be an easy day for those involved in field events. We have shot put, long jump and discus to get through. There'll be some standing around in the rain, even though there are plenty of big umbrellas in place at the event areas. On the track, we've got a lot of heats and finals over 1, 2, 4 and 800 metres. The Chinese track and field team is having a very successful time of it. They should be amongst the medals again today, but they're just one of 128 countries involved in the athletics. They've proved to be very proficient at this running, jumping and throwing business.
They have it that, and it's a different day than it was the first few days, isn't it?
Oh,
completely
yeah.
different. Yeah. Rain bucketing down. We might have a bit of dancing in the rain after some of these finals. 3 on the track. The first 2 to look forward to, both coming in the men's 400 metres. They're in the visual impairment category. The first in the medium visual impairment. You'll see Abdusalam Healy, the world record holder, going in it, and also Noah Malone from the United States, who broke the Paralympic record in the heat. That one getting underway at around 20 to 10 local time here in Tokyo. And then the following one after that, the least of the visual impairments, the T13, Johannes Nambala, the world champion, goes, and Mohamed Angoon, the Paralympic champion, and also the world and Paralympic record holder, who looked fantastic in his heat. And the last of the finals on the track, the women's 100 metres T37, a coordination impairment class category. And we talked about the Chinese there. Wen Xiaoyang, gold in the long jump, gold in the 200 metres in that category. She's going for the treble of 3 gold medals. And Yang Fen, who won gold in the 400 metres and 200 silver, will also go in that event. That one getting underway at around 20 to 11 local time here in Tokyo. So plenty to look forward to on the track, and loads to look forward to in the field as well, on what is a bit of a brutal day weather-wise, but it won't stop the athletes. They've been out there amongst it, and they're preparing at the moment, and regardless of what happens with the weather, they've been preparing for this for a number of years, and it won't dampen the enthusiasm. Pardon the pun.
Yes, it's probably not raining as hard as it was 20 minutes ago, and it shouldn't be unexpected, even though the first 5 days we were sitting here in blistering heat and high humidity, and people in the stands with accreditation, lucky enough to be here, couldn't keep cool enough. Well, now it's just 20 degrees and 95% humidity, and still quite still, if I can put it that way. Not much breeze, but yes, it didn't rain a great deal during the Olympics a few weeks ago, but Tokyo does get more than its fair share of rain, about 1,500 millimetres a year, or 60 inches. So over an inch a week. So we should have been expecting it sometime. And anyway, we'll carry on. It's not like we call off the track and field just because of a bit of rain. It's not like a tennis match or something where you're in danger of slipping and falling. It does make it a bit tricky, perhaps in the wheelchair events, though.
Yeah, it can do. We saw that with Susanna Scaroni in the women's T54 category a few days ago. She really struggled to get away. A lady who won gold over 5,000 metres earlier in these championships, and she ended up at the back of the field and couldn't quite make up the ground in that 1,500 metres, so finished out of the medal. So it can make a difference, depending on how hard the rain comes down. It can play havoc mechanically. And also, there is prosthesis categories as well. So all these little things can make a slight difference to adjustments and how the athletes go in a sport. To throwing events, when you've got the javelin, the shot put, and the discus, so much chalk is used, and you can see there the Gidos in the foreground of the Rainbow Bridge, and you can tell by the camera there the rain which is coming down, how different it has been to other days. A lovely view of Tokyo Bay, though, regardless of what the weather is. But those athletes with the throwing events are probably more affected than anyone else, because they've got so much chalk they try and get onto their hands, and they've got those seated categories where they're really rocking backwards and forwards, and one little slip can really ruin your competition. But of course they train for these types of things, and the women's shot put F35 will get things underway, and there's an F57 final, which is the seated category taking place a little bit later. Discus throw F11, which is the complete visual impairment category as well. Loads to look forward to on the track. Tatiana McFadden will go in the women's 400 metres T54 as well later on in the day. There's a couple of heats in that and the T53 category just beforehand. So it is a day that's going to provide more medals. It's a day that will provide more Paralympic and world records, regardless of the weather. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever, because there's been season bests and lifetime bests throughout the heats, and it just builds up towards those finals and the athletes unleash.
It should be a good day, and our first couple of field events, looking at the women's shot put F35, Czech Republic, Ukraine, Great Britain, Uzbekistan, Argentina, Brazil and Poland represented. So no Chinese athlete in there, but the Chinese have accumulated across the whole of the Paralympic Games 68 gold medals, 43 silver and 36 bronze. I suppose the standout feature of that is that the overwhelming majority of the medals are gold. So they tend to win when they medal. There was a thought in the architecture behind this stadium, it was built a few years ago, that they could make it with a retractable roof, but the expense was going to prove to be beyond them. So they've gone with the design we have, and it is a beautiful stadium, I must say. F35 shot put. Wang Jun, record holder from 2016, but Wang is not here to defend. But here is the field. Laksova from Czech Republic. Ukraine's Pomazan. Should be hard to beat. Was a winner in London. But here's Laksova first of all, 5th in Rio and 6th at the World Championships 2019.
Throwing out to the Paralympic and World Champion representing Ukraine.
From the city of Zaporizhzhia. Pomazan won in London, runner-up 4 years ago.
4th in the 2019 World Championships for Great Britain.
From the delightfully named town of Horton-le-Spring near Sunderland in England comes Nicholson.
6th in the Rio Paralympic final representing Uzbekistan.
Amatkanova comes from Fergana in Uzbekistan, 6th in Rio.
Throwing up 5 with a lifetime best of 7.76 for Argentina.
Bagalo Brezozici is studying communications in Argentina. Comes from the town of Obeira.
She was the world bronze medalist representing Brazil.
And from neighbouring Brazil comes Maravana Oliveira de Nobrega, who was bronze medalist in Rio, and 3rd also at the 2019 World Championships. Claudia Malajuska, 5th at the 2019 World Championships and 3rd at this year's European Championships, with the best of 8.67 across her throwing career. The number that jumps out at you from these 7 competitors is the career best of Pomazan, 13.59. It's not far off the world record held by Wang. The world record is the Paralympic record from Rio 5 years ago. But these athletes will be pleased that Wang Jun is not here. She's pretty much unbeatable at her best, except perhaps for Pomazan on a good day.
Well, this being the F35 category, this is the most impaired of the coordination impairment categories. So we'll see how it goes with the shot put as well, with the wet conditions, and see if it makes any difference at all to the release of the athletes. Some sliding, some turning.
Straight into it, and just a little over 8 metres for Laksova, who's got a personal best of 8.85 set at this year's European Championships, where she finished runner-up. Well, yes, whether you're sliding or spinning around that circle, a wet surface doesn't make it any easier, that's for sure. But Anna looks pleased to be here and's got a fair throw away to start her competition. Making sure that shot put is absolutely dry. The last thing you want is for it to slip out of your hand and give up valuable meters. Obviously. Parmesan now. Warm favourite here. Got to deliver though. Oh, and she does. That's a good opener from Parmesan. Out past 11 metres. And can throw much further than that. Just easing away into the competition. Up comes the right arm, away goes the left shoulder. And the shot put is on its way. And 11.67. And I straight away think the rest of the field's going to struggle to get near that. Got a men's long jump today as well, T37. Shang Guangshu's record, 6.77, also set 5 years ago. And the field on these PBs around the 6.50 or 6.30 mark, and Evangelista Cardoso from Salcatano del Sol. He was second in Rio. Vladislav Zarabelny just missed out on the medals 5 years ago. Did win the European Championships this year, though. Sergei Biryukov won a Grand Prix long jump event in Grosseto, Italy a couple of years ago. Says that's his career highlight so far. Konstantinos Kamaras studying management at Loughborough in England. And Pellizzeri also competing in the 100 and 200. Won the long jump, silver in the 100 at the Paralympic Games in Lima. Kobasov, second at this year's European Championships.
Jumping at 7th, twice a European medalist for Poland.
Oczarek, fourth at the World Championships 4 years ago, third at this year's Europeans. Valentin Bertrand's got some fans around us, it would seem. A ripple of applause in the broadcasting area for the man who was fourth at this year's European Championships.
As we return to the women's shot put, F35. It's Argentina up next.
Bagalo Brezazici. The rain gentle but annoyingly persistent at the moment. A 7.76 PB for the Argentinian. Oh, ouch. She's okay, but that's a foul.
And that's the issue with this weather. This is the coordination impairment category. Now, this is the most impaired of the coordination category. 35's been the most impaired, 38's been the least impaired. And when you have a very slippery concrete centre circle, that can happen and it can be quite dangerous.
Yeah, that left foot just slipped as it came forward to the front of the circle. Thankfully, the hero's okay. Hopefully she'll get a fair throw away in the second round. Maravana Oliveira de Nobrega. Two important third placings for her recently. So recently, third in Rio and third at the 19 World Championships. Career best of 9.47. It's out around 9 metres. Already we can tell that that opening throw of 11.67 from Pomazan of Ukraine is going to be difficult to haul in. Slow-mo action on the shot put's pretty good, I think. It looks terrific at night as well, against the black background of the Tokyo sky. But in the rain, it's interesting for other reasons and difficult. Malashevska round out this first round of throws in the F35 shot put. Claudia's 29 years of age. Just disturbing the tape there across the 8-metre mark. Not too much movement across the circle in her technique, so less chance of slipping. And an 8.01 for Malashevska. Need to keep hydrating even on a wet day. Poland having quite a reasonable games. Czech Republic could do with a few more medals, I think. So it's always interesting looking at the medal table and thinking about the population of certain countries and what that support for athletes with a disability might be. So Luxova started with 8.35. Slides across the circle and lifts, starting from a low position or as low as they can manage in this classification. And a bit of an improvement there for Anna to 8.43. And she's sitting in the bronze medal position. Can she stay there? Well, here's our leader. Pomazan. She starts at the back of the circle, unlike some of her rivals. So she's able to go for a more comprehensive technique. Oh, there's another good one. That's closer to 12 metres than 11. She started with 11.67. She could have pushed it out a bit further. Has thrown a 13.59. And a 12.24. She's on a game now. Now Anna Nicholson. Well, that's not a bad idea.
Like it was a towel. I thought it was a flag for a moment.
You wouldn't do that to the British flag. No way. Nicholson out towards 8 metres. She had a foul with the first throw, so that'll be good to get one on the board there. Fourth at the European Championships this year. And with a best of 8.47. So in the early days, it was a problem keeping cool. Today, keeping warm. A few signals from the coach. What she needs to do. It's a wet track, but as we say, it's always been quick, regardless of the weather. Let's see what happens today.
Men's 400 metres T12 final for medium visual impairment. There are 3 finals on the track in the morning session. Both those two, Abdusalam Hili, the world record holder, and Noah Malone, who broke the Paralympic record in his heat, will go in this one. 4 to go. Should be a wonderful race. There is the world record holder from Morocco. Also the world champion, Abdesalam Healy. He was 7th in the 100 metres, the man from Casablanca. Rui Jababli took silver over 1,500 metres. This is his first time in the 400 metres at a major championship and a lifetime best in the heat. The man who set that Paralympic record in his heat, he's won silver over 100 metres here already. His father, Kyle, competed for the University of Indianapolis on the highly competitive NCAA circuit. Malone will go from 3. And Marty Afri, the reigning Paralympic record holder. Malone goes outside him. Afri, who took silver in 2016. He's also competed in the 100. He was the world champion in 2017. Goes in 1. But that man there, Healy in lane 7, could be the most difficult lane to go from, you could argue. Can't see what's happening on the inside. And you have to set your own pace. And he does that really well. So Afri in 1, Malone in 3, Jababli in 5, and Healy in 7. And Healy gets away very quickly indeed. They all get a very good start. Afri on the inside has been left back slightly. Noah Malone of the USA, who took silver in that 100, has come up on the shoulder of Rui Jababli, who's competing for 400 metres in a major championship for the first time. And Malone's looking really strong at the moment. Out wide, it is Abdesalam Healy on the inside and Afri on the outside, but here comes Noah Malone, who's roaring around in the final 100 metres. The man who set the Paralympic record in his heat is now being challenged on the outside by Abdesalam Healy, the world record holder. Healy is going close to taking over Malone. He's going to get in there on the line. It is going to be Healy who takes it. A new world record time. He's broken his own mark that he set in Dubai back in 2019 when he won the gold medal. Abdesalam Healy of Morocco is the Paralympic champion to go with that world championship from 2 years ago. Well, Malone's disappointed. He thought he had it, but he struggled in the last 50 or 60 metres as that man there, Abdesalam Healy, claims the gold medal. World record time of 47.59 seconds, breaking the mark that he set 2 years ago by 0.2 of a second. Well, despite having the Paralympic record broken in the heats, Abdesalam Healy looked really good when he went through, and he looked fantastic then. It's the USA who take the silver medal, Morocco gold and bronze for them, but Malone just losing his form as he came towards the line, and Healy looking really strong and just staying upright and staying in a wonderful position. And he'll have the mandatory pictures taken with the world record sign. Abdesalam Healy of Morocco, now the Paralympic champion, to add to the world championship gold he picked up a couple of years ago.
I think we've got our answer about whether the rain would affect the speed of the track. It's actually falling quite heavily now. Not a problem in our opening heat.
It's actually not too bad. There are parts of the track where it is rather dry, so it isn't going to be that affecting for the athletes. If anything, for some of them, might actually prefer running in cooler conditions. Those longer distance races earlier on in these Paralympic Games were quite difficult indeed. These are shorter distances, of course, but the 400 metres, it's hard. It can be brutal at times, but not for that man. Abdesalam Healy has added the Paralympic gold medal to his World Championship gold medal from 2 years ago.
It's a brilliant run from lane 7, isn't it?
Well, it was actually an area record for Malone as well, and a lifetime best for Jababli with the bronze.
Let's go and have a look at the long jump action. Sarah Belny. Just a little bit towards the front of the board, or he's left a bit of room there is what I'm trying to say. Certainly a fair jump, room for improvement. One of the stronger jumpers in the field. Comes in with a personal best of 6:33. He looks to be near that already. Indeed, 6:30. Impellizzeri of Argentina. Fully into his stride now. Hits the middle of the board, hits the middle of the pit. Looks around 6 metres. It's the T37 class. Nice action. We like to generate a little bit more height. But we just have to keep in mind the restrictions of the impairment that the athletes are dealing with. And a 6 metre jump indeed for Impellizzeri. Second place at the moment. Now Kopasov. Representing the RPC. Again out towards 6 metres. Popular distance at the moment. He has a best of 6:15. Accurately onto the board. No change of stride at all. And he too on 6 metres, exactly the same as Impellizzeri. Back to shot put we go.
F35 category.
Akmat Akonova. That 8 metre ribbon is getting a bit of a workout. She's sitting in bronze medal position at the moment. Good drive with that right shoulder, really gave it some. Reminding you the leading throw of 11.67 is going to be the first set by Pomazan, and then she improved to 12.24. So we've got a runaway leader at the moment in the Ukrainian, Olivera Dinabraga. Gives the board a kick. That's all right. Just don't step over it in your follow through. And she obliges, making sure it's a fair throw. Feels she can do better. Already thinking about the technique for the next attempt. Has a best of 9.47, so she'll be looking for that. Ah, not happy. Yes, 8.09, so she's dropped a metre from her opening attempt. Malashevska now of Poland, also around that 8 metre mark.
Well, she just slipped then, and she's gone back and reset. Thankfully for her, she didn't actually go over Malashevska, so she'll take 2.
And you've got to be sure of your footwork. There's a lot of force going through the legs in these throwing events, and a slightly slippery surface is a tricky thing for anyone to deal with impairment or without. Show me someone who hasn't slipped in the rain, and I'll show you someone who never goes outside. 8:23, Malashevska. Good improvement with the second round there. We'll go back to the top of the order, and Anna Luxova. Dry the feet off on that mat, but I'm afraid the circle cement is still pretty slippery. She manages it well. 3 pretty consistent throws from the Czech athlete. Just sitting out of the medals at the moment. Well, it's really raining quite heavily now. 8:41, very consistent.
This the previous event on the track, the men's 400 metres T12 medium visual impairment. Abdusalam Healy, world record, breaking his own mark. He adds the Paralympic title to the world title. Lifetime best for Noah Malone, who did have the Paralympic record before that. He takes second. Jababli, also Morocco, with a lifetime best and bronze. And we stay on the track. This time the same event, but the T13, the least of the visual impairment categories. Mohamed Amgoon, the world record holder and Paralympic record holder, and the Paralympic champion, goes in this. He'll be joined by the man from Namibia in lane 4, the world champion, Johannes Nambala. Two athletes from the RPC going in this. Alexander Sheeran, bronze in 2019 and bronze in 2021 at the Europeans. Before this event, Bermuda's Via, 14th in the 100 metres here. He's the reigning Pan American champion, taking gold in 2019. There is Mohamed Amgoon, got the hat on to keep the weather away. Reigning champion, world champion in 15 and 17 as well. Athmani, 29 years of age. He took silver in the 100 metres, the Algerian. He'll be hoping for more in the 400. Igor Sherov was the world champion in 2013, took silver in 2015, and the last ones in Dubai in 19 as well. He was beaten by this man, Johannes Nambala, who took gold in Dubai. He was silver at the Paralympic Games behind Amgoon in 2016. Hakan Shira, 8th in 2019. He took silver in the European Championships this year. Masugi, who went through as one of the fastest qualifiers, the man from Botswana. It was a lifetime best in his heat. Mohamed Amgoon, Paralympic champion, world record holder from London in 2017, and Paralympic record holder will go up against that man there, who's the reigning world champion. And don't write Athmani off, the Algerian. Was wonderful in that 100 metres when he picked up the silver. This should be an absolutely cracking race. And away at the first time of asking, and all looking pretty good, with Sheeran going away quick on the outside, and a couple of lanes in it is Mohamed Amgoon, the reigning Paralympic champion, and coming up on his shoulder already, Athmani, the man from Algeria. He's looking fantastically good down that back straight, and as they come into the last 200 metres, it will be Athmani, who took silver in the 100 metres, who will lead them, with Amgoon wearing the cap to keep the rain off his head just outside in one lane further out. But it is Athmani, the Algerian. He's looking very good, and he's running away from Mohamed Amgoon. This will be interesting to see what the time is. Amgoon second, Nambala is coming in bronze medal position, but that is a new world record of 46.69 seconds. by Athmani. Well, he looked incredibly good going down the back straight. You wondered, though, whether the lactic acid might get to him and he might burn up in the last 100 metres and Amgoon, the experienced campaigner, might catch him. But he just kept on going. There was no stopping him. He would have run another 400 metres if he could have. Nambala takes the bronze. But Athmani, well, he took silver in the 100 metres behind Ireland's Jason Smith, just beaten in that by thousandths of a second. They get away well. It was Sheeran on the outside, but Amgoon caught up very quickly and was leading after about 150, but when they came into the final straight, Amgoon just couldn't go with Athman. And Athmani picks up a world record. We've had 2 track finals already this morning. We've now got 2 world records. The second is from Algeria.
That's something, isn't it? 2 races, 2 world records. It is very still. There's no breeze to upset the running rhythm of these fine athletes. The track, well, I mentioned it might be wet, but it's still fast. I mean, it's only a couple of years old, remember, this stadium, and so the very latest technology built into the running surface. So you'd assume it would hold up under a bit of moisture.
Well, Africa reigns supreme. It's Algeria with the gold. It's Morocco who take the silver, and Namibia with the bronze. But look at that wonderful speed. Amgoon, he never looks like he's stressing, but at that point I bet he was. Athmani never looked like he was going to lighten up, and it's a difficult thing to go from the 100 to the 400, but he's done it with absolute class.
There's no breakdown in form whatsoever. He's a beautiful runner.
If anything, he's looking at the time to see what he comes up with. You know you're doing well when you can afford to look at the clock. Hugs all round for that man. Scanet Jamil Athmani of Algeria takes the gold medal and a new world record, breaking the mark set 4 years ago in London by the man who came second, Mohamed Amgoon, and Johannes Nambala, the world champion, takes Paralympic bronze.
We'll revisit the long jump. And Cardoso. Looking at a medal position. The Brazilian. That sand is wet. I don't know whether that makes it easier to prepare after each jump or not, but they've done a nice job, our officials over there. Tough day in this kind of rain for everybody. We certainly appreciate all that's being done for us and for the athletes to make these events go on time. Evangelista Cardoso, 6:05. It's a season best for him. Zarabelny. A 29-year-old from Dnipro in Ukraine. Really attacking the runway. Nice pace generated and good height too. Vladislav Zarabelny. I like the way this man's jumping. He's got a composure about him. That rain is really coming down. And a 6:32. That gives him the lead. In Pellizzeri. Opening jump of 6 meters. Well, he's capable of more. Let's see if he can find it. Oh, yes, that's plenty more. Nice jump from Impellizzeri. Career best of 6:34. He might have done something about that. His position on the board was ideal. Had a quick look at it. That's all good, and so is the jump. The Argentinian leaps into top spot with 6:44, so 10 centimetres further than his previous best. Chairman Kolbeson, Russian Paralympic Committee, shortened up in those last couple of strides, but still gets an effective jump away. They're just sitting out of the medals at the moment. Very strong in the upper body is Kolbeson. His biceps and pecs, he's a pretty powerful unit. He's got 3 coaches there talking to him at once. 6 metres and 6 metres. He's got consistency nailed anyway. Too much advice is never a great thing. Just, what do they say? Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. I don't know how many complex thoughts in coaching anyone can absorb in 20 seconds. Just give one idea and get that right.
The first heat of 4 in the women's 200 metres T11 complete visual impairment category. The reigning champion and Paralympic record holder Libby Clegg will go in heat 4. The world record holder and world champion Lu Ku Qing in heat 3. 4 to start in this one originally, but we now only have 3. Johanna Mazur of Poland will go in lane 7. She's already raced in the 1500 and 400 metres here, 4th in that 1500, 8th in the 400. She was the European champion in 2016. In lane 5, 29 years of age, Rojas of Venezuela, semi-finalist in Rio in 2016. And of Brazil, Jelusa Geber dos Santos, who took bronze in the 100 metres at these Paralympic Games already, will go in lane 1. She was a silver medalist back in 2012 in London. She's the current champion of the Pan American Games. So lane 3 will be vacant after Ferravavi withdrew. This is the complete visual impairment category, so it just takes a bit of time at the beginning for the guide to get that tether sorted out. The athlete's in the correct position. So it'll be Geber dos Santos in lane 1, Rojas in 5, and Mazur of Poland in lane 7. And already Rojas has come up on the inside and gone well past Johanna Mazur, and trying to make up the ground on the outside is Geber dos Santos. It's just the first that will go through automatically to the semi-finals. So you want to be in that first position to make sure you do qualify. Rojas struggling somewhat at the moment. Geber dos Santos is going to take it as she goes across the line, 25.86 seconds. She goes through in first position, and Rojas in second. We'll wait now to see if she goes through as one of the next 4 fastest to the semi-finals. Well, she took silver in London in 2012. Silver in 2013 as well at the World Championships. And she finished well. You saw there, she got away a bit slower than Rojas. But the Venezuelan on the left of the screen took the lead coming into the straight, but just tightened up somewhat. You see a guide almost a little bit too far in front of her there. And Gabriel dos Santos holds her rhythm, holds her form, holds the victory, and goes through to the semi-finals in the women's 200 metres T11. Rojas there just leaning back slightly and just not getting herself into a good position, which can be difficult in this category. You have to rely a lot on your guide, and Gabriel dos Santos has relied on Gabriel dos Santos Garcia, who's got her across the line, and she's finished in first place. So she will go through to the semi-finals. 25.86 the time. Rojas 26.05. Major 28.40, and Faravavi didn't start.
Akmat Conover in action, and the F35 shot put. Getting past the halfway stage of this competition. It's been led from the get-go by Maria Pomazan of Ukraine. Akmat Conover has been sitting around fourth position most of the contest. She's pretty close to third now at 8:59. There's a pretty useful throw for her. It's a new PB by 9 centimetres, so well done to the Uzbekistan thrower. Off goes the mask. I'm not sure handing your mask to someone else is 100% best practice, but it's hard to know exactly what to do with them all the time. It's hard to remember them. I can vouch for that. Oliveira de Nobrega. Gives it a good yell. Gets it on its way past 8 metres this time. And 8:21 after opening with a 9:15. So that's still her best throw. So we go back to the track.
Heat number 2 of the women's 200 metres T11, complete visual impairment. And there will be 4 to go in this one, including Linda Patricia Perez Lopez, who has won gold here over 100 metres. Young Angolan, 21 years of age. Juniala Moko will go in lane 7. Her debut at the Paralympic Games has already got in the 400 and 100. Valdera of Peru also got in both the 100 and 400 at these games. Lorena Salvatini Spoladore, bronze medalist from 2019 at the Worlds. Also bronze medalist at the Pan American Games in 2019. She's ready. And Linda Patricia Perez Lopez, gold in the 100 metres. Her sister also competing here, Alejandra Paula, who won 400 metre bronze in the T12 category. So it'll be the first to go through the next 4 fastest across the 4 heats, this being the second of them. We'll go through to the semi-finals. Perez Lopez in 1. Salvatini Spoladore on screen there in lane 3. Valdera in 5. And Moko in lane 7. World champion and world record holder Lu Ku Quing will go in heat number 3, and Libby Clegg, the Paralympic champion, will go in heat number 4. A clean start, and it is the Brazilian Salvatini Spoladore who got away quickest of all, but she's being ushered on the inside by Perez Lopez, just the first to go through. And Perez Lopez, as they round into the straight, is looking extremely good. There's not much of her, but she's very, very fast indeed, and she leads Salvatini Spoladore. And it is going to be Perez Lopez who won gold in the 100 metres, looking for a double in the 200. 25.87 the time. She takes the automatic qualification place. Lifetime best for her with that as well. So what a Paralympic Games the 23-year-old is having. 25.87 the confirmed time for Linda Patricia Perez Lopez. Well, it was the Brazilian Salvatini Spoladore who got away quickest of all, but with just over 100 to go, Perez Lopez rounded that bend and was never headed. Moko with a lifetime best coming in third. The Angolan, who was in lane 7, but Venezuela continue their wonderful Paralympic Games in the para-athletics, especially the Perez Lopez twin sisters. They're having a great time of it.
Let's get back to the shot put. And Malashewska of Poland trying to advance it out towards about 850. That would be good. Been sitting in 5th position for a little while now. Watching it anxiously. See how far past the 8-metre strip she's managed to send it. 8:33, so gee, it's a steady competition when you look at those distances. And Alexieva. So after the first 3 rounds, of course, they go in reverse order. So the strongest thrower goes last for the final 3 throws. Alexieva. This looks a good effort from her. Well past 8. 8:85 is a personal best for her. And 8:60, and she's moved into 3rd. She's pushed Atma Canova out of that bronze medal position. Oliveira de Nobrega now. Her first throw of 9:15 continues to be her best. At 8:09, 8:21 since. Like the way she just tosses the shot put up in the air, catches it, throws it, gets on with it. Not too much point standing there thinking about it. You know what you've got to do, and she does it. A very self-critical bunch, the throwers. They're always looking for more. And the 31-year-old from Brazil, this time an 8:53. So she started to get back near that opening throw. Long jump action. And Zara Belny, 6:32 with his second. He's very quick, and that's a good jump. He doesn't react too much. A little trace of a smile there after a fair one. And I think he likes it. The PB of 6:33 in winning the European Championships this year, well, that looks to be in advance of that. This could be a new career best for the Ukrainian. Oh, indeed, 6:59. The eyebrows go up. And that's an area record for him. Impellizzeri's just had the lead taken away from him. His 6:44 is a PB too. So things hotting up at the long jump. Oh, nice effort. And it's fair. Pretty fair position on the board. And a 6:35 to back up that new PB for Impellizzeri of Argentina.
Well, this was the second heat. The winner of it, Perez Lopez of Venezuela, goes through to the semi-finals. Linda Patricia Perez Lopez, a lifetime best 25.87. Salvatini Spoladore and Moko will have to wait to see if they can go through as a fastest qualifier. Time now for the third heat, and this one contains the world champion and the world record holder, Lu Kuqing of China. There are 3 to go in it. Lu will start in lane 7. 24.39, that lifetime best she set when she broke the world record in Tianjin in 2019. That was just before the World Championships where she took victory there. So she'll go in lane 7 with Zhu Dongling, her guide. She's already won the 400 metres here and silver in the 100 metres. Ishitili Laya, 7th in 2019 at the World. She's been here in the long jump and 400 metres, failed to medal. And Taman Wong of Thailand, who's the 2018 gold medalist at the Asian Para Games. So the world champion and world record holder will go out in lane 7. It may be raining a little bit, but we saw 2 world records in the opening 2 finals. We've seen lifetime bests, season bests. So don't discount something else happening. Full list of track action in the morning session. 1 more final to come, plenty more heats. Great action to look forward to. So Lu in 7, Ishitili in 5, Tanan Wong in lane 3. And getting away well in lane 3 is Tanan Wong. It is Lu who leads at the present time as they round the bend and then will straighten up. Ishitili of Namibia also looking very good in the middle, but as you'd expect, it is Lu Kuqing with around 50 metres to go who's looking rather good. Heads down towards the line, and she takes it in a time of 26.09. So easing over the line. A good minute and a half, or second and a half, I should say, outside her world record. But there was never any doubt there, with around 80 metres to go, that Lu Kuqing would go through. No point pushing it when you can go through to a final, semi-final, and just take your time a little bit, conserve a bit of energy. And Lu Kuqing does just that. Well, on the inside there, Taman Wong of Thailand, the 33-year-old, got away really quick, and at that point, Ishitili was looking strong, but it was Lu Kuqing who is a supreme athlete, having taken the 400 metres and silver in the long jump. She moves through to the semi-finals. Tanan Wong with a season best in 27.33. And a season best as well for Ishitili, the Namibian, in 27.42. But it's all about China at these Paralympic Games. Again, they're at the top of the medal count. They may be heading for another of one variety or another for Lu Ku Qing as we head back to the field.
Getting to the business end of the shot put. Marivana Oliveira de Nobrega in silver medal position at the moment. Just taps the front of the circle board. Been very consistent, no fouls. There have been quite a few of them across the competition amongst some other competitors, but she's giving herself every opportunity, executing quite well, and courtesy of her 9.15 in the first round, still sitting in silver medal position. She was third in Rio, was the Brazilian. Now, Malashevska, so that rain, the puddle's giving you an indication of it's pretty steady, pretty difficult. Malashevska out of the medals at the moment, about 5th position. She's been steady, and an 8.39 to finish. Well done. But disappointment ultimately in terms of medaling. Sand will turn to mud shortly. Keep this going. Impellizzeri in the long jump briefly held the lead. On his way. He's going to struggle, I think, to catch this new mark set by Zarabelny of Ukraine. But he's sitting in second. Young man from Argentina, 23 years of age. He won the long jump at the 2019 Paralympic Games in Lima, Peru. Here's our leader, Zarabelny. Delightful reaction from him with that personal best in the previous round. He's chasing his own new mark of 6.59. I don't think that's quite there. Might be hard to come down after setting such a good personal mark and taking the lead in this competition. He was just out of the medals in Rio with a 4th, but he's won the European Championship since, both in 2018 and 2021.
Well, this Lu Ku Qing in the previous heat, number 3 in the women's 200 metres T11. So she qualifies, and at the moment, as it stands, Tanan Wong will go through to the semi-final. She's currently in the fastest position. There is one spot to come in this, so whoever doesn't win this one has to be faster than 27.33. This one sees the Paralympic record holder and reigning champion Libby Clegg of Great Britain. She'll go in lane 3. Simplicio de Silva of Brazil took silver in 2019 at the Worlds. Paralympic Games debut for that lady there, Judith Mariette Leberg. She was 7th in the 100 metres. Felita Vittoria Simplicio de Silva, we've seen plenty of her so far at these championships. She's taken 2 medals already, silver in the 400 metres, bronze in the 100 metres. She was silver in the World Championships in 2019. Great Britain's Libby Clegg, who took gold in Rio back in 2016. She was silver at the Worlds before that in 2013. And she is the reigning European champion as well. And someone who's competing since 2005. Pereira Semedo of Cape Verde. Paralympic Games debut for her. So just the first to go through. But as I was saying, Sunapom Tanawong in 27:33 holds the qualification time at the moment. So whoever doesn't win this and comes in second place has to be faster than 27:33. It shouldn't be a problem given the lifetime bests of Clegg and Simplicio de Silva, but you just never know, do you? So Pereira Semedo in 1, Clegg in 3, Simplicio de Silva in 5, and Lebeau goes in lane 7, and they get away at the first time of asking. It is Simplicio de Silva who is looking really strong, and on the outside Lebeau, and Clegg struggling somewhat towards the back, and Simplicio de Silva is out in front, and Lebeau is chasing her down. The lady from Cameroon at the moment, Simplicio de Silva, and Libby Clegg is going to be going out. It's Simplicio de Silva who takes the win, 25:45, and also going through there in second place, it is Judith Lebeau. It's just going to be a case of waiting on the times now to see what they are. A wonderful run from Thalita Vittoria Simplicio de Silva. A silver in the 400 metres, a bronze in the 100 metres. She's heading through to the semi-finals of the 200 metres. 25:45 is the time. Lifetime best for Lebeau, and I can tell you that Libby Clegg of Great Britain, the reigning Paralympic champion, is going out in the heats. So good to see all the runners getting together. I think there's a marriage proposal as well.
Oh, really?
Well, this is fantastic.
What a moment.
They've all got together. And Pereira Semedo, her guide, Manuel Antonio Vaz de Vega, has just proposed. And she said yes by the looks of things. On goes the ring. Well, that is absolutely fantastic. I've seen a lot of things in my time. I've never commentated on a wedding proposal.
Well, you've done a fine job. And I think the others knew what was happening because they all gathered around.
Well, there's been some chat beforehand. Clearly, congratulations to the pair of them. A season best time as well for the lady from Cape Verde. That's fantastic. I'm lost for words. And I've now got to talk about this. Well, Simplicio de Silva from Brazil. She got out really quick, the 24-year-old. 25.45, the mark that she set. And on the outside there, the lady from Cameroon, Judith Mariette Lebeau, a lifetime best for the Cameroonian. It was good enough to see her go through to the semi-finals as well, but Libby Clegg of Great Britain, her lifetime best, 24:44. She's 27:93 she ran. She is the European champion from this year, but she'll be disappointed with that. That lady there won't be disappointed at all. Simplicio de Silva goes through to the semi-finals. So we have 8 who are into those semi-finals. That lady there will be one of them as she bids for a 3rd Paralympic medal at Tokyo 2020. Well, Pereira Semedo may have come fourth, but she's picked herself up a fiancé. Congratulations to the pair of them, her and her guide, Vaz de Vega. Simplicio de Silva, though, goes through, as does Lebeau of Cameroon.
Well, we were joking yesterday that...
So the final looks like this. Fastest qualifiers, Salvatini Spoladore of Brazil and Judith Mariette Lebeau, who we just saw go through, as does Rojas of Venezuela and Moco of Angola. Simplicio de Silva, the fastest of all to go through, the lady who took silver in 2019 at the World Championships.
I was going to say, you've got to find a guide who can keep up with you and a guide who can put up with you, and they're happy to go forward in life together. That's a tremendous story for the couple from Cape Verde. Men's Discus F11. So these athletes, vision impairment. Alessandra Rodrigo da Silva owns the world record at 46.10 and the Paralympic record at 43.06. And there he is, going up 6th in this field of 9. So Miroslav Madzia of Poland, 41-year-old, who was 7th at the Rio Games. Igor Baskakov from Stavropol, representing the Russian Paralympic Committee, with a PB of 36.65 in the discus. Nurmohammad Areki, Islamic Republic of Iran, 4th at the 2019 World Championships. Sergei Shatilov, also representing the Russian Paralympic Committee, 5th at the 19 Worlds. Alvaro del Amocano from Madrid, Spain, 3rd at the European Championships this year. Alessandro da Silva should be the one to beat in this competition. He is the defending champion, holds the world and Paralympic records. From Austria comes Bill Marinkovic, 3-time runner-up at World Championships. Representing Iran, Mahdi Olad, 3rd at the World Championships 2 years ago. And the Cuban-born Italian, One Tapia, who was silver medalist 4 years ago. I like the mouthguard he's got in there with the Italian colours on it. He's an interesting story. We might get to that later too. Getting towards the end of our opening field event. This shot put F35. Luxova, who's hanging on to that bronze medal position. Looks like she's going to get it. She's had a best of 860. She's been very consistent right across. An 8:37 final throw for the woman from the Czech Republic.
As we head back to the track, it's the last of the finals on the morning session. The women's 100 metres T37. Mandy-Francois Ali, the world record holder, goes in this. There is no Georgina Hermitage at these Paralympic Games. Sabina Sukhanova, she was 5th in the long jump and was bronze at the Asian Para Games in 2018 in this event. Cheryl James, she's had a very good games, 4th in the 200 metres, bronze over 400 metres. Natalia Kobza of Ukraine, 2017 world champion. She's the reigning Victoria Slenova of the RPC. Bronze in 2021 at the European Championships. Yang Fen, silver in 2019. She's won gold here over 400 and silver over the 200. Mandy Francois Lee, she's the world record holder, took bronze over the 200. Reigning European champion and former world champion. Jalene Roberts of the USA took silver in the long jump, 22 years of age. Wen Jiayan going for the treble. She's taken gold in the long jump and gold in the 200 meters. She's now going for gold in the 100 meters. So the reigning world champion, Wen Jiayan, looking for a third gold of these Paralympic Games. Tukhanova will go in lane 2. Uzbekistan. Kobzar in 3. Zhang in 4. Roberts in 5. Wen in 6. Francois Ali in 7. Slanova in 8. And James rounding up the field from South Africa in lane 9. So Francois Ali, the European champion and former world champion, she does hold the world record, will go next to Wen, the reigning world champion, who's looking for a third gold of these Paralympic Games. There is the Frenchwoman Francois Ali. 13.10, that world record. Paralympic record is 13.13. And Wen gets away very quickly indeed down the middle, as does her Chinese compatriot Yang Fen. It's a battle in 2 at the moment with Roberts in the middle of them. Wen is heading towards the finishing line. Let's just look at the time. She takes it, a new world record for Wen Jiayan, who claims another gold medal at these championships. That is her third. Gold in the long jump, gold in the 200 metres, now gold in the 100 metres for the Chinese athlete. 13.00 on the dot. She's taken 0.1 of a second off Mandy Francois Ali's former world record. 23 years of age, and she has 3 Paralympic golds here. Jalene Roberts has come through for an area record and just pipped the second of the Chinese, Yang Fen, into bronze. Roberts takes the silver, but it was a lifetime best for Yang as well in the bronze medal position. 13.17. Roberts beat her by 1/100th of a second to claim it. But the start there from both of the Chinese athletes, especially Wen in the red, Yang in the blue top on the right of screen, and Roberts through the middle there. Francois Ali had been left behind, the former world record holder. She couldn't cut the mustard today, but it certainly could be for Wen, who picks up another gold medal. 13.00, a world record for Wen. Jalene Roberts, just on the line, gets past Yang Fen and picks up a silver. So there's 2 silvers for Jalene Roberts as well. She was silver in the long jump behind Wen Jiayan. She now takes it in the 100 metres. But there's the lady who'll be at the top of the podium again. Wen Jiayan with a third gold medal of these championships. Gold in the long jump, gold in the 200, now gold in the 100. Well, there's the start again. And Wen and Zhang getting out very quickly, and that was really what did it. If you're going to break a world record, you're going to have to get away quickly. And they both did. They both jumped. This is the coordination impairment category, the second least coordination impairment. But there still is that chance of tightening up towards the end. And that's what can happen. Didn't happen for the 23-year-old from Yiyang. Made her debut back in 2016 in Rio. She won 2 golds and a silver there. she's done even better at these ones. World record, 3 gold medals in the 100, 200 and long jump. Jalene Roberts with a second silver for her lifetime best. And Yang Fen of China, lifetime best for her of 13.17, picks up the bronze.
Women's shot put F35, the first field event to get underway today. Maravana Oliveira de Nobrega. Best throw has been her first of 9.15, and she's been sitting second right through the competition. And gives it her all once more, but the Brazilian's going to have to be satisfied with second, it would seem. She was third in Rio, so that's something to be proud of. 2 Paralympic medals in the shot put. Absolutely put everything behind it. She's been outdone today by the athlete from Ukraine, Marila Pomazan. Pomazan's had a few problems since taking the lead with 3 consecutive fouls. Let's see what happens here with the last attempt. It's not too consequential. She's got the lead. Oh, that was a good throw, but it's just wide, so she's having trouble keeping it in the sector. That was out around 12 metres. Her best throw and winning throw is going to be 12.24 from the second round. And Ukrainian teammates are delighted on her behalf. She's done it. It's a bit of a struggle in the second half of the competition. Fortunately for her, 12.24, too strong for the opposition. And Anna Luxova of the Czech Republic will get the bronze. Silver to Maravana Oliveira de Nobrega. And Ukraine, through Marila Pomazan, win the shot put. F35. 12.24, so that's a healthy margin that Pomazan had over the rest of the field. Oliveira de Nobrega and Luxova, silver and bronze. Still action over in the long jump. The rain has been steady and annoying. And Pellizzeri of Argentina briefly held the lead at the start. His best 6.44, and that is a career best as well, coming in the second round. Looking pretty dark now, that sand, in this heavy rain. 6.18. Well, that was a standout effort in the second round from him. Zarabelny, our leader. Ukrainian takes off again. A little bit to spare on the board. But a fair jump from him. Scratch of the head. Not quite happy with that one, but he will be pleased to still find he's in the lead after a third round 6.59. That 6.59 is PB by some 26 centimetres. Men's long jump T64 is our first victory ceremony today. And the great Marcus Rem involved in this one, world record holder. This was also held in drenching rain, and it probably held back any chance of Marcus Rem showing his full range of skills in this event that he's made his own. 5-time world champion in the middle today to collect the gold. Trenton Merrill of the United States and Dimitri Pavard of France will be bronze and silver medalists respectively.
Accompanied by Mayor of Bunkyo City. Bronze medalist representing United States of America.
Out of California, USA, comes Trenton Merrill, a 31-year-old who was a 4th place getter in Rio. So gets his hand on the bronze medal that just eluded him 5 years ago. There's something he won't be selling. He describes himself as an investor, but he'll be hanging on to that for absolutely sure and certain. And the Samaiti mascot had a best of 7:08.
Silver medalist representing France. Dimitri Pavard.
Dimitri Pavard, born on the island of Reunion, but living in Toulouse. And like Marcus Rem, works in the area of developing prosthetic legs. More widely in the medical field. Second at the 2019 Worlds and the 21 European Championships. He's familiar with trying to get the better of Marcus Rem, but nobody can at the moment. However, a worthy silver medalist, the Frenchman.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Germany. Marcus Rem.
Make it 3 games in a row. He won in London, he won in Rio. Marcus Rem holds the world record at 8 meters 62, which is a staggering length. And he's humble with it. He's done the triple 3 games in a row. It's a rare thing and a great athlete. Here's Marcus Rem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
皆様、ドイツ国歌の演奏です。
Only accredited people are allowed in, but there must have been 200 officials, athletes and hangers-on who were watching that long jump last night. Shall we say that Marcus Rem's reputation precedes him? Everybody wanted to see what he could do. And to watch someone with a prosthetic leg leaping over 8 meters and doing it easily is something to behold. He's a trailblazer, a standard setter. I wonder when we'll see someone like him in this event. We still have our own current long jump to finalise. This is the T37. And Buryalov. Nice effort. Buryakov fouled with his 5th attempt. Need to find something extra special to get near the top 3. And a 5.96 is best of the day, beating his 2nd attempt by just the 1 centimetre.
Well, it's a hazy day with a bit of rain and not much fun. Except if you're about to pick up a medal. Men's 400 metres T12. First track event we had in the morning session. First of 3 finals. And all 3 finals produce world records. So there's nothing the matter with the track. It was Morocco who claimed this one through Abdesalam Hilali.
The medals will be presented by governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee.
With the 15 badge there, you can see 15% of the world's population, 1.2 billion with a possibility. WeThe15.org is being promoted by the International Paralympic Committee during these Paralympic Games. That's the place to go for more information as the dignitaries are introduced to those in attendance here for the men's 400 metres T12 medal ceremony. Tunisia pick up the bronze. Rouja Barblay, his first time in the 400 metres at a major championship, so quite some performance. .48.69 he had from the heat coming into it. 48.01 he has now. Lifetime best for him has been slashed by 0.68 of a second. Picked up silver in the 1500.
Silver medalist representing the United States of America.
Noah Malone picked up silver in the 100 metres. Now has a silver medal in the 400 metres to go with it, in a new North American record. 47.93. Just 19 years of age. What a career he's got ahead of him.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Morocco.
So the world champion now becomes the Paralympic champion. Abdesalam Halili from Casablanca was 7th in the 100. He's now got the gold medal in the 400. Races out of the Raja Club Athletic in Casablanca. 24 years of age. Says there's nothing more powerful than attitude. How true. So it's Morocco who pick up the gold medal, their first of these Paralympic Games. So Morocco, gold for the first time at the Paralympics thus far. Abdesalam Halili of Morocco. USA's Noah Malone and Rui Jababli of Tunisia. Love those medals, they look fantastic. And the athletes are enjoying them as well.
Let's have another look at this men's long jump T37. Brian Impellizzeri of Argentina. Leapt a personal best of 6:44 in the second round. It's a fair jump here. He's about 15 centimetres behind Zarabelny of Ukraine. If they look like they're jumping into wet cement, that's because it's been raining all morning. Fortunately, it's not the quick drying kind. And a 6:24 to finish, and it will be a silver medal for Impellizzeri of Argentina. Grey skies, bit of a dreary looking day outside, but world records continue to tumble here at the National Stadium. The field is open, but most of the seating is actually under a fair bit of cover.
Victory ceremony for the men's 400 metres T13. Another world record in this one as well. Skana Jamil Athmani of Algeria. Personal best in the heat. World record in the final. It's Namibia who take the bronze medal. Johannes Nambala failed to medal in the 100 metres. He picked up silver in Rio back in 2016 in both the 100 and 400. But he has a medal this time around. This time it's a bronze one. He won the 2013 World Championship gold. He also won gold in 2019 as well. But he has bronze at the Paralympic Games. It's Mohamed Amgoon, who's the former Paralympic champion now, having won in 2016. "32 years of age. He also has 2 World Championship golds from 2015 and 17. He'll be disappointed picking up the silver, but there wasn't a great deal he could do about the man who took gold.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Algeria.
銀メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンアルジェリア
Scanner Jamil Athmani is the Paralympic champion. .70, the world record from Constantine. He's at Constantine University studying management. Has competed in able-bodied athletics as well. He was part of the Algerian 4x100 relay team that won 2014 African Championships in Marrakesh as we await the national anthem. The second gold medal of the Paralympic Games for Algeria. Shireen Abdeloui in the women's 52 kilogram category in judo, the first of them, and now it is Scanner Jamil Athmani in the men's 400 meters T13 visual impairment category, also taking a gold medal. So a African hat-trick on the track.
Let's just tidy up the men's long jump for you. Vladislav Zarabelny, who took the lead in the third round with an area record jump of 6:59. Under no pressure for his final leap. He's well short of the board. It doesn't matter at all. He's got it done today. Congratulations to our officials and to our athletes. It's been a difficult day. teeming rain at times. But Zarabelny, who just missed out on a medal in Rio, has taken top spot on the podium today as he casually catches the flag. Good competition, and congratulations offered by Impellizzeri, the runner-up today, and Brazil's Matheus Evangelista Cardoso will be the bronze medalist from the T37. Ah, that's a sweet message. Talking to the little one back home. Vladislav Zarabelny, the oldest man in the field at 29, proves to be the best today. There are the standings. A PB for Zarabelny in claiming the gold. Likewise for the silver medalist, Impellizzeri, a 6:44. And Evangelista Cardoso, third for Brazil, and the bronze medal coming his way. PB also for Buryakov of the RPC.
Well, it's a very busy morning on the track. We've had our three finals. We've got a load of heats to get through across different categories as well. This is the first semi-final in the women's 100 metres T12 medium visual impairment. Amara Duran, the world record holder and Paralympic record holder, goes in the opening semi-final. So Duran will go in lane 3. It'll be the first in each of the two semi-finals, plus the next two fastest that will advance through to the final. Folgado Garcia, the reigning European champion, a 17-year-old, her first Paralympic Games, will go in lane 3. And that'll be alongside the lady who's already won gold here over 400 metres, Amara Duran. She was the flag bearer at the 2016 opening ceremony. In that year, she won 100, 200 and 400 gold. She's already taken the 400 here, and she looks to make it a third successive title in the 100. And Ferreira Suarez of Brazil, sixth back in 2012, will go in lane 5. And Liang Yangfen, her Paralympic Games debut, season best in her heat, in lane 7. Six Paralympic golds, including the 400 she's taken here for Amara Duran. 11 World Championship golds. So T12 can opt to go with a guide or without. All 4 athletes here in the medium visual impairment category have opted to run with guides. It'll be Folgado Garcia, the European champion, in 1. Duran in 3. Ferreira Suarez in 5. And Liang in 7. They get away quickly, and it was the Brazilian Ferreira Suarez who did well, but she's fallen back as Amara Duran shows her class from around the 50-metre mark. Amara Duran is going to take it. Liang on the outside is going to pick up second. 11.59 is the winning time for Amara Duran. Smiles all round. We'll just wait for confirmation of that time, which is a season best. 11.70 was her best before that one, which came in the heat. So she's taken 0.11 of a second off it and qualified through to the final with some ease. Liang has taken second position in 12.47. But they all got away really well. Liang on the outside got a good start, and it was from around that 30-40 metre mark where Amara Duran just gets into her stride and rhythm, and the Cuban chasing a 7th Paralympic gold title just ease through the line. Just look at that wonderful synchronicity. The athlete has to go across before the guide. The tether strapped on the whole way. The guide, Uniel Kinderland Vargas, just talking Durand through it, and she takes the win.
Got some discus action happening today. The men's F11. Field of 9 in this one. Sergei Shatilov. You can understand, I'm sure, the challenge for visually impaired athletes to throw accurately out of the circle into that sector can be a frequent cause of foul throws, but no issues there for Sergei Shatilov. And our assistants chasing down the landing mark for Shatilov on a 32.08 first up for him. Has a best of 37.39, so he'll build his way into the competition, no doubt. That's what they seek to do, get away a fair throw and take it from there. Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva, world and Paralympic record holder. Well out past 40 metres. So his best, that world record, is 46.10. Nice, smooth action across the circle. Lands it right in the middle of the sector. Now that is some skill to go through 720 degrees, release the discus unsighted and put it exactly where you want it. 42.09, opening salvo from da Silva.
Well, this is Amara Durand, who's taken the win in the opening semi-final of the women's 100 metres T12. Although I can tell you that Liang, who finished in second position and was going through as a fastest qualifier, has been disqualified. So Ferreira Suarez up into second position and Folgado Garcia are both at the moment in those automatic qualification positions, along with Durand.
I think her guide preceded her over the line. It was very close.
Well, that's the thing in these guided categories. In the visual impairment, the guide can't go across before the athlete. The tether has to stay with both the athlete and the guide. So he's the second of these women's 100 metres T12 semi-finals. Suwada Uran, who was fifth in the long jump, will represent Japan, the host nation, in lane 1. Severino de la Cruz, her debut Paralympic Games, the 20-year-old from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. And silver over the 400 metres, Oksana Peterchik. She won gold in this event in Beijing in 2008. And Grelia Villarreal Hernandez of Venezuela, who was fourth in the 400 metres. Season best in the heat, will go from lane 7. Peterchik having a chat with the guide, the 2014 European champion. She won gold in the World Championships back in 2006. Debut for the young lady from the Dominican Republic Nerves jangling, no doubt. 20 years of age. As the athletes just wait to be caught up to their marks by the officials. The rain, well, you can't see it quite there, but it is absolutely streaming down now. It's slightly away from the athletes as they head to the starting blocks, but you can see there as they whip through that first 10 or 15 metres, they'll go straight into it, and you can just tell in front of Oksana Baterchik there that the rain has got a lot heavier in the past few minutes. So Sawada in 1, De La Cruz Severino in 3, Baterchik in 5, and Villarreal Hernandez in lane 7, and they get away fine with no problems at all. It's a youngster from the Dominican Republic who gets away fastest, but it is Oksana Baterchik who is there, and De La Cruz Severino has actually almost slipped there. But Oksana Baterchik has gone across in first position. De La Cruz Severino, the youngster from the Dominican Republic, well, she's gone across in second position, but I'm not too sure that it might be a officials look at that there, because there was a bit of a slip. She moved, she fell. She did pick up a lifetime best. But that lady there, 12:28, Oksana Baterchik goes through in first place after a sluggish start.
I think she had an issue or two as well. Tolson's lost a bit of synchronicity.
Well, just watch there. You saw the Dominican Republic youngster, second from the right, De La Cruz Severino. Just watch around here, just there. And she just stumbles, falls, goes forward, goes backwards, and does go across in front. Baterchik there, they just lost their way a little bit. But I don't think there's any issues, but you just never know, do you? Villarreal Hernandez in 12:68 is also qualified, because this was the faster of the heats. Just look at that rain coming down. Wonderful camera work. Baterchik takes it on a rather wet track now. 12:28, lifetime best for De La Cruz Severino of the Dominican Republic. And Villarreal Hernandez takes third position and does qualify for the final. So this is how it looks. Amara Duran looking for a third successive title over 100 metres at the Paralympics. Baterchik, who won in 2008, De La Cruz Severino and Villarreal Hernandez make up the women's 100 metres T12 final.
The F11 men's discus continues on the far side of the stadium. And from Austria, Marinkovic with his first attempt. Nice smooth action, just keeps his lead foot inside the ring, and he'll wait for his assistant to come and guide him out of the area while we wait for the measurement. Marinkovic with a career best of 40.96. And a 32.91 to open proceedings for Bill Marinkovic. Mahdi Olad, Islamic Republic of Iran. "35-year-old. Now he's coming off a win in the shot put, so he's brimming with confidence. Sends that on its way with a good shout out towards 40 metres. This is going to put him in the top 3 initially, at least. Comes from Tehran, third in the World Championships 2019. That's a good opener from him, 39.22. Sitting second.
Men's 800 metres T53 wheelchair category race. It's the opening heat. First one contains Brent Lakatos, the world record holder and world champion. Paralympic champion Pongsakorn Payo will go in the second of the heats. So Brent Lakatos, he's picked up silver over the 100 and 400 metres here. Disappointment in the 1500 metres, but he goes in this one. The world champion, he took silver in 2012, bronze in 2016. He'll be looking for the full deck and a gold here in Tokyo 2020. Vitaly Gritsenko of the Russian Paralympic Committee, who was a silver medalist in the European Championships earlier this year in Poland, will go in lane 7. There is Brent Lakatos, the steely look of the Canadian, who's 41 years of age. Gritsenko, bronze in the 400 metres here. Joshua George took Paralympic silver back in 2008. Nicholas Brignoni, Masabari Arce, 22-year-old who is making his Paralympic Games debut. That man isn't. Brent Lakatos knows a thing or two about the Paralympics, and he'll be hoping he can claim a gold in this event for the first time. First 3 will go through from this heat of 5, and then after this it'll be the next 2 fastest who advance over the 2 heats through to the final. So 2 laps, and struggling to get away there. Joshua George has got away really slowly there, but it is Brent Lakatos, as you expect, who heads around past that first 100 metres, and he heads across towards the inside. Arce of Thailand, you can't miss him in that bright yellow top. He currently sits in 3rd position, does the tie, and falling right off the back as Joshua George, who's a good 70 or 80 metres back. As they head down, they'll have a lap to go. They'll take the belt. It's Gritsenko of the RPC who holds a lead of around 10 or 15 metres. It is just the first 3 who go through here, so I suspect Brent Lakatos is just sitting wide there on purpose because he knows that Arce is going to have to go around the outside of him. He'll have the inside covered with Nicholas Brignone, and he'll look to try and make sure he just finishes in the top 3. There's no point in these situations making sure you expend any more energy than you have to. He's had a look at the screen as Lakatos, and he's set off with Arce behind him, and Nicholas Brignone has just fallen back somewhat. So out in front at the moment is Vitaly Gritsenko, who took bronze over 400 metres. Lakatos just heading up on his back wheel at the moment, along with Arce, the athlete from Thailand in that bright yellow top. Lakatos is going to just move past Gritsenko, who's still working hard, and Arce up there as well. Gritsenko takes 2nd. Lakatos goes across in 1st, though, and Arce of Thailand has gone across and finished in the front 3 as well. Disappointing for Joshua George, perhaps. In these very wet conditions, they can affect athletes in different ways. But Lakatos takes the win, 1:42.29. Gritsenko went out to a lead really early on. Just wanted to make sure he finished in that top 3, I suspect. And Lakatos knew the score. He'd been around long enough. Took 1st place in the end. A bit of a look to Gritsenko, I think, to say I'll finish 1st and take the honours. And Gritsenko looked like he got across, but it's been given to Arce by, well, 3 1/1000ths of a second. Look at the water just coming up there on Lakatos. It makes things a lot more difficult in those wheelchairs. 1:42.29 is the time that Brent Lakatos goes through in.
You need the wet weather tyres, not the slicks.
Yeah, really difficult conditions. The change we've had over the past week has been quite something. Lakatos in 1st position, Masaburi Arce of Thailand goes through in second, and Vitaly Gritsenko, who's taken a bronze over the 400 metres, qualifies for the final of the men's 800 metres T53 category.
More action across at the Discus F11 category. And One Tapia, a Cuban-born thrower representing Italy. Manages to stay in the circle and get it out towards 40 metres. It's got a best of 46.07. Yes, he was a professional baseballer, pitcher, took a contract to go and play in Italy, then began to lose his sight and stayed in Italy and now represents them.
So back to the track, and Pongsakorn Paya, the Paralympic champion, will go in lane 7. Pierre Fairbank, 50 years of age. He's been around the block, he knows the score, and he'll know that he's just got to finish in the top 3 to go through. Pishe Krunget, bronze in the 1500 and 5000 here already. So 6 starters, the top 3 will go through, and then after that we'll be looking across the 2 heats, the one just preceding this and this one, to see who the 2 fastest qualifiers that will go through to the final are. But out wide, Pongsakorn Paya, 2 gold medals already over 100 and 400 metres. He'll be feeling extremely confident. Thankfully, the 2 ties have different coloured tops on, so it's easy to work out who's who. Here's the second of the ties. Krunga in the bright yellow, who's in second position at the moment, followed closely by Yang Xiaoqiao of China, who sits in the red shirt in third position. The Pongsakorn Paya has been wonderfully good during these Paralympic Games so far, taking 2 golds, and with around 300 metres to go in the second semi-final of the men's 800 metres T53 wheelchair category race. It is Pongsakorn Paya who leads from his compatriot Pishe Krunget, and in third position, Yang Xiaoqiao, the bronze medalist at the Asian Para Games in 2018, who sits in that third position. Brian Seaman, though, just stuck slightly on the inside, the American. He'll need to try and get out from there. But Pongsakorn Paya is looking really good, really smooth, and like he's going to take the victory. It's going to be a tie 1-2 with China in third place going through. Pongsakorn Paya takes it 140.28 is the time. He eased through that 800 metres and qualified through to the final. Outstanding work from the 24-year-old, who's just really enjoying these championships. 2 golds already. Can he make it 3 in the final? Always such a competitive race T53s and T54s, and Thailand always seem to have those who are outstanding in these categories. Well, Thailand have picked up 3 gold medals so far at these Paralympic Games, and 2 of them have gone to that man there. And all 3 have come in wheelchair racing. Athawat Pangnua, the only other one, in the T54 men's 100. Pongsakorn goes through in a time of 140.28, joined by his compatriot Pishet Krunget and China's Yang Xiaoqiao, and a season best time of 141.19.
Back to the discus, F11. Igor Baskakov. Personal best of 36.65. He fouled with his first attempt. Oh, what good technique he's got. It's a wobbly old throw, however. At the moment, it's De Silva, Olad and Tapia holding down the top 3 spots. Baskakov knocking on the door, perhaps, with that first fair throw. Nice and light through the circle. That's the discus with a slightly disturbed flight. And a 34.47. Yes, he's in 4th place. The man representing RPC. Rodrigo da Silva, world and Paralympic record holder, next to go. It's out around 43 metres. His world mark is 46.10. Only man so far to throw over 40 metres in this competition. Might have improved his lead here. .43.16 from the man who won in Rio 5 years ago.
Well, this is the second heat in the men's 800 metres T53. It was won by Pongsakorn, who has 2 gold medals already at these Paralympics. He's qualified through to the final. Pishet Krunget as well. Yang, Pierre Fairbank and Brian Seaman have also qualified through. That being the fastest of the 2 heats. Brent Lakatos is also there, the world record holder and the world champion. Should be some final.
Time for another victory ceremony now. This an event from last night, and the F51 club throw at a field of 8, and ultimately a world record.
The medals will be presented by Chairman of Bunkyo City Council. Accompanied by Colleen Wren, Chief Paralympic Games Delivery Officer of the International Paralympic Committee.
Umbrellas up, protecting our equipment and people. I won't mind a little bit of rain on the podium as they collect their medals, though.
Representing Slovakia.
Marian Correa first up with the bronze medal from Slovakia. He was in a bit of trouble fouling with his first 3 attempts. They get 6, of course, and his 5th, it was a 30.66. just half a metre behind his career best, which came this year at the European Championships of 31.19. Courageous collects the bronze. There are 4 throwing events: discus, javelin, shot put, and the club throw.
Silver medalist representing Serbia.
銀メダリストセルビア
Zeljko Dimitrijevic.
Zeljko Dimitrijevic is very used to winning. A man from Belgrade, Serbia. Won in Rio and London. 3 World Championships, 2 European Championships, but he's got to take silver medal today. A 35.29 with his final throw. He was very close to catching the winner, Timazov of the RPC, but today has to settle for second. He was pretty philosophical about it and accepted with good grace that he wasn't quite good enough on the day.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, RPC athlete.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオン RPC
Musa
Timazov,
Tayamazov.
37-year-old, who was 4th at the European Championships this year, 3rd at the World Championships 2 years ago. A kiss on the top of the head, and a winning throw, a 35.42. He only beat Dimitrijevic by 13 centimetres. 1 centimetre would have been enough, of course, but it was pretty close. Timazov ultimately the gold. And a world record
The anthem of RPC.
皆様
into the bargain.
RPC 参加の演奏です
Ladies and gentlemen, the
A slightly humbling experience, I suppose, for Dimitrijevic, because not only did he have to settle for second, his world record went to the new champion by 69 centimetres. So a great job by Musa Tayamazov. And Marian Courageous, third for Slovakia. I'll take the usual pictures. Still raining, not getting a real sense of it from that particular shot, but it's wet out there, folks. Back to the discus. And Tapia representing Italy. He's kept it fair, and he's used to throwing things, of course, being a former baseball pitcher. In his homeland originally of Cuba, it's a very popular sport, representing Italy these days, and proud to do so. He's 45, looks a very fit 45 to me. In 2018 European Championships, he won both the discus and the shot put. So he's accumulating good results. And a 37.88, not quite as good as his opening throw. Rodrigo da Silva. He's the one to catch. Holds the important records, world and Paralympic, with the best of 46.10. Not quite that far this time, out about 41, 42 metres. Assistant comes in to guide him out of the net. Really light on his feet through his technique. He'll know he's comfortably in the lead, and how much does he want to do in these slippery conditions? Certainly don't want to have a fall. That's difficult for the throwers.
Women's 100 metres T37 victory ceremony. This the third of the track finals that was on in the morning session. And it meant a third world record. All finals in the morning. World records broken. And China again among the medals.
The medals will be presented Chairman of Bunkyo City Council. Accompanied by Kalimarin, Chief Paralympic Games Delivery Officer of the International Paralympic Committee. Bronze medalist, representing People's Republic of China.
23-year-old Yang Fen. Won gold over the 400 metres and silver over 200. She now has a bronze medal over the 100 metres here in Tokyo. Struggled in the lead up to 2016, where she picked up a gold in the 4x100, but she's done ever so much better here. Jalen Roberts adds to her silver that she picked up in the long jump from Tacoma in Washington State. She finished sixth in the 200 metres, so she's picked up 2 silver medals to go with that. Pan American Games champion as well. And she was a member of the 4x100 Universal Relay team in 2019 who won that. That'll be on again here for the first time at the Paralympic Games. But it is Wen Xiaoyan who takes the win. China well above everyone else at the top of the medals. And that is her third of these games. 200 metres, long jump, and now 100 metres gold in the T37 coordination impairment category. So that's 69, made that 70 gold medals for the People's Republic of China as we pause for the anthem. Well, it's amazing, isn't it, that you get to Paralympic Games and World Championships, European Championships, Pan American Games, Asian Para Games, whatever it may be, and the athletes just go up another level. Jiang Fen with a lifetime best taking the bronze. Jaylene Roberts with a lifetime best and a new area record with a silver, and that lady there with a world record mark of 13 seconds exactly, breaking the mark from Marie-Françoise Elise set back in 2019.
Women's shot put F57. Nadia Mejmej with the record, but important late news regarding that. She's a withdrawal from the competition. So that's opened it right up. This is being held in two positions to get through the large field of 20. And Safia Jalal of Algeria is pretty excited about that for good reason. World record standing at 11:16, and she's just beaten it. She was close with the first, and 11:29, a world record for Jalal. How about that? And back to men's discus. Rain still tumbling in Tokyo. And in fact, we'll go back to the track.
Well, the rain is still tumbling, and you can see there from that shot that it is very wet out there and will be difficult for those wheelchair athletes in the men's 800 metres T54 wheelchair category. Daniel Romanchuk, the world champion, goes in heat number 3. First up, Richard Kiyosara of Great Britain is a non-starter. Kenny Van Veegel, very experienced, will go in this one along with Prawat Waharam, who's taken silver in the 1500 metres already. Suzuki Tomoki, Paralympic Games debut for the 27-year-old. Will go in lane 7 inside Aaron Pike of the United States. Kenny Van Veegel will go in 6. Prawat Waharam, gold medalist in this event back in 2002. And Zhang Yong of China, the reigning Asian Para Games champion, will go in this one in lane 3. So 2 will go through to the final, and then after that, across the 3 heats, we'll have the next 2 fastest who will advance. Waharam will go in lane 5. Suzuki of Japan in 7. This the strongest of the wheelchair categories, the T54, and already working his way up very fast indeed is Prawat Waharam. There will be 2 laps of the track. When they come around onto the far side, they'll come over after that first 100 metres, as they do there. And Waharam, as is his wont, usually gets towards the front and is sitting nicely there behind the Chinese athlete, Zhang Yong, who took bronze in 2019 at the World Championships, did Zhang. He's already competed here over 3 events in the 5,400 and 1,500, but he's yet to medal at these Paralympic Games. So Waharam sits behind. He took silver in the 1,500 metres. We know his stamina, we know his class, and Kenny Van Beagle in 3rd position. But at the moment, the 2 out in front are well clear by a good 10 metres or so, and it's only getting a bit further, out to 15 now. So they'll see the big screen, they'll know it's there. And Zhang and Waharam will know that they're a good distance in front as the group behind try to make a bit of a push on. Aaron Pike has come up in the 3rd position, but he's a little bit of a way off the running. He'll be hoping that he can go through as a fastest qualifier, sitting back there behind those front 2. But there's no doubt whatsoever about who's going to go through. Probably Waharam is going to come across and take it, with Zhang in 2nd position. 1:33.59 is the time. So they're around a second or so outside the Paralympic record, and they didn't really put much of an effort on in that. The 2 that were out in front did it really easily. Thailand and China go through. Zhang has set a season best time for him of 1:33.85. So Pro Waharam, 1:33.59, just eases on through to the final of the men's 800 metres T54, having already medalled over 1,500. Waharam, as is the want sometimes of these athletes, they just like to finish in front, just to try and maybe perhaps gain that psychological edge of being first going through to a final. Still a decent effort for the Chinese athlete Zhang Yong. A season best for him. His lifetime best is 1:31.41, which would be good enough to break the Paralympic record if he was to succeed with that mark. Possibly in the final, who knows? That Paralympic record, by the way, has stood since 2004 in Athens, held by Yasuoka Choke of Japan. It may well be under threat at these Paralympic Games. That's for another day. But today, it's Prawat Waharam in 1st position of Thailand, with China taking the 2nd automatic position. Waharam took silver in the 1,500. He'll be hoping for one better than that in the final of this.
Men's discus, Bill Marinkovic of Austria. Best so far of a 32.91. He's got that out there pretty well. That's going to be longer significantly than his 32.91. Possibly not enough to get him into a potential medal position, but longer than 33 we would have thought. Marinkovic from Vienna, 3-time runner-up at World Championships. That can happen if you're in an era with someone who's just absolutely top class and unbeatable. 33.45.
Well, this is the ending of the opening heat in the men's 800 metres T54. It's a wonderful angle to see how difficult it can be for those athletes. When you look at it from the high shot, you don't quite see it in the same way. It can be difficult, but not for Prawat Waharam and Zhang Yong, who've qualified for the final. The second of 3 heats now to go. This one contains the Paralympic champion, Marcel Hug, A field of 5. Prithviraj Konkrak has picked up 2 bronze medals at these championships so far. Julian Casserly in lane 7, Nathan Maguire of Great Britain in lane 6. There is Marcel Hug, gold in 2016. He's already won gold in the 1500 and 5,000 metres here. His first major championship in 2002. Prithviraj Konkrak with a couple of bronze medals already. And on the inside of him from China, Dai Yunquang, bronze over 400 metres at these Paralympic Games. A field of 5, the first 2 automatically qualify as the rain continues to fall in the Tokyo National Stadium. So Hug gets away quickest of all, and on the inside of him is Prithviraj Konkrak of Thailand, and pushing through well is Dai Yunquang. It's all about getting to that first 100 metres and then pushing across to the inside and trying to get that inside lane, and Marcel Hug has done that. It took a bit more effort than I think he would have liked, but he has got across into that front-running position, which he so often likes, and he's usually in first or he's in second, and he's always there trying to tactically dictate the race, and he's doing that yet again. Here's the Swiss silver bullet, who lives in Notteville, the spiritual home of para-athletics, where so many of the athletes train. And you just saw a shot then of Dai Yunquang. He's getting the water bursting up from the wheel of Marcel Hug, so it's very difficult to be in a slipstream as someone like these athletes would, because they've got water splashing up at them off the track because of the conditions. So you've just seen them take the wider running somewhat, if they can, to maybe not exert as much energy, just trying to make sure the water doesn't get in their faces. Konkrak in second position in the bright yellow, doing just that, as Marcel Hug comes around to the final 100 metres to lead them down that straight. It's Hug in first place at the moment, Konkrak in second, and Dai Yunquang looks like he's going to hold off Julian Casserly of France and take third position. Well, that's how it finished, but it is only the first 2 who definitely go through, so it's Marcel Hug in first position and Prithviraj Konkrak of Thailand in second. Hug has done that one pretty easily indeed. Well, the Paralympic record has stood since 2004. That's through Japan's Yasuoka Choki. 1:34.38 the time there of Marcel Hug. He never really exerted himself too much. Konkrak had a bit of work to do at the end to hold off Dai, who came home with a season best in third place for China. But it's all about Marcel Hug, who's picked up 2 gold medals here already. It was this back in 2016 when he finally, at his 4th Paralympic Games, picked up a gold medal. He's looking to replicate that here and retain it. And if he did, it would be a 3rd Paralympic gold here and a 4th individual overall. Marcel Hug of Switzerland goes through, along with Thailand's Prithviraj Konkrak.
Into the second half of the competition at the men's discus. Well, we've still got Olad to come. He fouled with his second. That's a good heave. At a 39.22 with his first to go straight into second position behind Rodrigo da Silva. Get a sense there of the rain just outside the throwing circle. Marty Olad, 35-year-old, from the Islamic Republic of Iran. Get out of the circle and go and get a jacket on. It's quite cool as well as wet. Towel over the shoulders. And a 39.68, so there we go. That's consolidated his position as second.
The final heat of the men's 800 metres T54. We'll see the world champion, Daniel Romanchuk of the United States of America go. There'll be 5 who take part. The top 2 will go through automatically. Taichung Kongen, who was 4th in the 400 metres, won silver in this in 2016. The tie will go in lane 7. Daniel Sidbury of Great Britain will go in lane 6. World record holder, world champion, gold here over 400, now looking to make it a double by winning the 800. Daniel Romanchuk of the United States of America. Song Li of China will go from lane 4, and Hassan Bolde, the experienced German, will go in lane 3. So the cut-off point for the fastest qualifiers to go through that don't finish in the top 2 at the moment is 1:35.38. Julien Casselly holds that position of France. So Romanchuk gets away really quickly there, just bursting past Daniel Sidbury of Great Britain, who drops way back. Romanchuk has gone extremely fast, extremely early. He's out by about 5 to 10 metres already as they move across to the inside of the track. It's Romanchuk in first position, and it's Taichung Kongen of Thailand who's in second position, and the field is massively split already with around 500 metres of this men's 800 metres T54 heat to go. So Romanchuk has thought, well, I'm going to go out early, I'm going to coast home because it's the first 2 who go through, and he goes across and he takes the bell in around 45 seconds. So Daniel Romanchuk, 46.7 seconds for that opening lap. The interesting part is he going to go quick and try and break a record, or is he just going to ease up somewhat knowing he's way out in front? He's got a gap at the moment of about 50 metres to Kongen of Thailand and Song Li of China, who's in third position. And Daniel Sidbury's worked his way back up into that group there, but at the moment, it's a battle in 2 between Thailand and China further back. But the man in front, we can see here, Daniel Romanchuk, who holds that world record of 1:29.54, is absolutely cruising, as he did from the beginning. 1:31.83, it's a new Paralympic record, as Taichung Kongen of Thailand takes second position. China, through Song, take third, but it's all about Daniel Romanchuk. He holds the world record. He now holds the Paralympic record that has stood for 17 years, since Athens in 2004. He went out quickly. You had to question whether he was looking to get himself a record. He didn't ease up, but he didn't necessarily go too quick. And in these wet conditions, out in front by himself, Daniel Romanchuk has done extremely well and set down a marker for the final. The water spraying up. He doesn't mind, the 23-year-old. At the last Paralympic Games, he was knocked out in the first round of all 5 events. Not this time. He's already won gold over 400 metres. He's now broken the Paralympic record for the 800 metres and moves into the final.
Back to the discus. Bill Marinkovic, as we go to the second half of the competition now in reverse order. shy of 35 metres. Marinkovic does have a best of 40.96, so he's well off that at the moment. If he could find it, he'd be up into the medals. Your very best isn't something that's easily just turned on and off, as Marinkovic would no doubt have learnt over his many years in competition. He's 48 now. Way back in 2004, he won the javelin gold medal in Athens. So he's experienced a bit in his time. 33.45 his best today.
Well, there is the 23-year-old Daniel Romanchuk from Baltimore in Maryland, breaking the Paralympic record in the men's 800 metres T54. Also going through Thailand Sargent Konjen, 137.08. Just shows you how far back they were and how far the field was split by Romanchuk early on. So there is the final lineup. Romanchuk with the Paralympic record, looking for a second gold at these games. Marcel Hoog is looking for a third, having won 2 races already. What a race that's going to be. As we move now to the women's 400 metres T53. The track race is coming thick and fast. Chelsea McClammer, the world record holder, will go in the second heat, along with the double Paralympic champion over 400 and Paralympic record holder Zhu Hongjuan. But there's a bit of talent in this one as well. Huang Yen of the USA will go in 7. Gao Fang, who took gold over 100 metres here already and was 4th in this event in the Worlds back in 2019, will go in lane 6. Samantha Kinghorn, bronze in the 100 metres. She took silver in 2012, bronze in 2016. Looking for gold this time around. And Jessica Frotten of Canada will go inside Angela Ballard of Australia, who took silver in 2012. Frotten's first Paralympic Games. So away they go. It's Frotten in 3, Ballard in 4, Kinghorn in 5, Gao in 6, and Huang in 7. The first 3 will go through, and then the next 2 fastest from across the 2 heats will also go through to the final. And it is China through Gao Fang who leads, but Samantha Kinghorn, who's taken bronze in the 100 metres, she's the 2014 European champion. She's taken silver and bronze in this event, works her way up into first position. So it's Kinghorn in front, Gao in second position, and then back in third, it's Angela Ballard of Australia in the bright yellow top. So the top 3 at the moment are set as far as going through to the final. It's Kinghorn out in front, good 4 or 5 metres lead on Gao Fang, and Angie Ballard of Australia in third position. 56.73 the time for Samantha Kinghorn. Took the lead after about 100 metres and never really looked back from there. 56.73 her lifetime best, 53.72. Season best of 53.98. Gao's broken her season best. She has a lifetime best of 55.04, the Chinese, but that's the winner, Samantha Kinghorn of Great Britain. Takes the first heat in the women's 400 metres T53. Cruised home along the straight. The next race will have the world record and Paralympic record holder in it, but the 25-year-old from Melrose in Scotland has eased past the victory line in this one.
At the discus, they've got Oni Tapia after a third round foul, looking to improve on his 38.56. Well, that's only about 35, unfortunately. Oops. Loves an immediate chat about it. He's straight into the conversation about how he can do better. Certainly got the strength in that right arm of his to do some damage. Unfortunately, oh no, that's, well, it's not a bad effort. He's not going to catch De Silva with that one though. And a 35.23. Marty Ohlad, 39.68 with his third. Best so far. Sitting in the silver medal position. Can he consolidate there? Well, that's out over 40 metres. Just the second man to do that today. De Silva sitting on a 43.16 throw. Now, Ohlad just letting him know he's there with this effort. And a big bellow as he lets it fly through the rain at the National Stadium in Tokyo and past 40 metres. Has a best of 42.37 career-wise. And a 40.60 for Ohlad. Here's our leader, Alessandro Rodrigo de Silva, Paralympic and world record holder into the bargain. And he's leading this by a couple of metres. Oh. This gets reset. That circle is slippery. I think his foot went from under him a little and it gets reset wisely. No problems the second time. Well past 40 metres again. In fact, all of his throws have been. He is the star in this competition, that's for sure. Up on his toes, through the circle very neatly and in control. Did well to pull out of that first try at it when his foot slipped. Perhaps talking about the conditions with his assistant there. And he's absolutely drenched, isn't he? 42.53.
Well, this is Samantha Kinghorn in the opening T53 women's 400, the opening heat. Confirmation that she goes through in a time of 56.73. Gao Fang also through, and Angie Ballard of Australia, the veteran, qualifies for the final. Second heat now, and this is worthy of being a final. No disrespect to the heat that's just gone, but this is an absolute stacked field. The world record holder Chelsea McClammer, the Paralympic champion and Paralympic record holder. Zhu Hongjuan, who won gold in 2012 and 16. And Catherine de Bruyne, who's the European and world champion, who beat Zhao to gold in Dubai 2 years ago. So Lefevre goes in 8, Lewis in 7, de Bruyne in lane 6, the aforementioned from Switzerland, who's taken bronze over the 800 metres here already at these championships. The reigning world champion and European champion. Chelsea McClammer, silver in 2016, will go a bit further. But this lady here, Zhao Hongjuan, silver in 2008, gold in 2012 and 16 for Zhao. And Hamide Dongagun, bronze in 2019. So Lefevre in 8, Lewis in 7, de Bruyne in 6, McClammer in 5, Zhu in 4, and Dongagun in 3. So they do get away, and looking really strong out there is Catherine de Bruyne. She's going really well, is de Bruyne. She's out in front by a good 5 or 10 metres. It is the first 3 who go through automatically. So it's all about getting out in front and getting yourself into a decent enough position. And at the moment, it is Zhu who's doing just that. So as they come across the line, it is de Bruyne who does it. Zhu's there as well, along with McClammer. So 55.21 the time. No real pressure on. De Bruyne does it. And Zhu goes across in a season best time of 56.14. Dongagun has beaten McClammer to 3rd position, so the world record holder is now going to have to wait and see if she goes through somewhat off the pace. That lady wasn't in front though, Catherine de Bruyne. Bronze in the 800 metres, the reigning world champion and European champion. And Zhu, who she beat to gold in Dubai, in 2nd position, with Hamide Dongagun of Turkey, who was a bronze medalist back in 2019. But that lady there has been in supreme form this year. Well, Lewis and Lefevre, disappointment for them, finishing at the back of the pack, having a bit of a wry smile about it. Jackets out today. Who'd have thought 4 or 5 days ago that would be the case? So de Bruyne, Zhu and Dongagun qualify automatically. McClammer does go through as a lucky loser. So McClammer and Frotten are the 2 that go through. Catherine de Bruyne, the world and European champion, fastest of all.
Time for another victory ceremony. The women's shot put F35. This was the opening event of the day. Quality field of 7. And Maria Pomazan of Ukraine put a stamp on the event very early with a 12.24. No one got near it after that.
youth and national service of the Netherlands.
As our dignitaries are introduced.
スポーツ青年支援サービス副大臣
Accompanied by
続きまして佐々木香織
Executive Board Member of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事
Bronze medalist representing Czech Republic.
銅メダリストチェコ共和国
Anna Luxova from Písek and the Czech Republic, who was 5th in Rio, finds herself amongst the medals this time. And an 860 throw in the 4th round. Good enough to secure that. She actually got the bronze medal by 1 centimetre from Dilafruxon Akhmatakonova of Uzbekistan.
Silver medalist representing Brazil.
金メダリストブラジル
Much clearer picture for second, though. Maravana Oliveira de Nobrega from Sao Paulo, who was 3rd in Brazil 5 years ago. Comes up with the silver this time. Her best throw was actually her first, 9 metres 15. A season best for her. A tough day to break records in the field, though. The rain tumbling down throughout this competition.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Ukraine.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンウクライナ
Maria Pomazan.
It was a strange competition in some ways. Maria Pomazan with a 12.24 in the second round. It was an intimidating throw for the rest of the field. They couldn't get near her, but after that she fouled 4 times. Just had trouble finding the sector. Slippery conditions, hard to get sure footing. It was okay though for Pomazan, who won it by a couple of metres in the end. She's won the last 3 World Championships and 2 European Championships.
皆様
Silver medalist in Rio. She's made good on that in Tokyo. Must be said, Ukraine's having a very strong games as Maria Pomazan adds another goal to their tally. Oliveira de Nobrega, silver, and Luxova, the bronze. Pomazan's winning throw, 12.24, silver at 9.15, and bronze, 8.60. 4th place, 8.59. That's how it is some days. A centimetre can make all the difference in these field events. over at the Discus, Amocano, Spain.
Left in the men's Discus F11. He got the scarf off with minutes to go. 34.47.
Amocano, best early on of 31.05, and then he's had his share of fouls in this competition. Career best of 37.01. And a 32.71. So you can imagine that for unsighted throwers in the rain, just being confident to spin through the circle, that's a challenge on its own. Okay, in the dry in the stands though. T37 men's long jump held a little earlier in this session. Our medalists coming again from Ukraine, Argentina and Brazil.
The medals will be presented by
メダルの贈呈は
Emma Cantina Galmas, Deputy Minister of Sport, Youth and National Service of Namibia.
ナミビア共和国スポーツ青年支援サービス副大臣
Accompanied by
続きまして佐々木香織
Executive Board Member of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事
Mateus Evangelista Cardoso,
Representing Brazil,
銅メダリストブラジル
who was second in Rio and third 5 years later. Jumped 6.05 in the second round, the season best for him. Jumped 5.80 in the third round and then fouled 3 times. So he didn't give himself much of a chance of jumping into second. Mind you, Impellizzeri, the silver medalist today, was some 40 centimetres ahead of him. May not have got there anyway, but delighted with that bronze medal, clearly.
silver medalist, representing Argentina,
銀メダリストアルゼンチン
Brian Lionel Impellizzeri.
Impellizzeri competing in the 100 and 200 as well. Set a personal best of 6.44 in the second round. Got close to it a couple of times, but that would prove to be his best effort. He did lead for a little while. Might have had hopes for gold. Must settle for silver. Youngest man in the field at 23.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Ukraine,
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンウクライナ
Vladislav Zarabelny.
Vladislav Zarabelny, 4th place in Rio with 5.95. But here he set an area record of 6.59 and a personal best. The look he gave us after his successful attempt in the third round was one of sort of self-surprise, really. The eyebrows went up. Oh, didn't know I could do that. Well, he hadn't done it before.
The national anthem of Ukraine.
皆様ウクライナ国歌の演奏です
The
Well, Ukraine and China having a very successful session. Ukraine now 5th on the medal table with 19 gold. Zaro Belny from Impellizzeri and Evangelista Cardoso, Ukraine, Argentina and Brazil in the men's long jump T37. Masks go back on for the next series of photo opportunities. Tapia of Italy. See what the big man can do this time. Oh, that's slippery, that circle. He's managed to keep his feet, though, and get it out towards 40 metres. This might be his best throw yet. Lucky he's an athlete, because it's so slippery in there. He's done well to keep his balance. Exceptionally well. If you like to challenge yourself without sight, have a go at standing on one leg and closing your eyes and see how long you can manage it. It's a really difficult thing to do. So just admire the fantastic skills of these people. 39.52, their balance, their poise, their technique. Arek. An attempt from Arek. There's two men from Iran in the field. Mahdi Olad as well. Haven't seen too much of Noor Mohammed Arek. Opened up with a 28.78, but he's got that well past 30 metres, 33 or so. That's going to be a fine effort from him. 33.37, saving his best to the 6th round. Sitting there next to his teammate now, Baskakov. Just sitting out of the medals. Best of 34.47. He's got to find about 5 metres to get into bronze medal position. He's given it some, but that's not going to be enough. Igor Baskakov with a PB of 36.65. He liked it. A little wobbly through the air, and won't be a medal today, I don't think, for Igor Baskakov. Coming up just short. And a 31.27. His 34.47 was his best, but that's well adrift of Tapia. He's there with 39.52. He's safely in 3rd and looking for a bit more. Go, get after it. It's not as good as his earlier ones, I don't think. 39.52 is best, and that's a couple of metres short. However, it looks like he's heading for a bronze medal. Just came out a bit low, I think. And for Oni Tapia, third place in the discus, with 37.27 his final attempt. Mahdi Olad from Iran. Our leader's sitting on 43.16. That's Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva. So Olad would have to find another 3 metres on his best to get there, and that's not done it. It's just short of 40 metres, his final attempt. Had a foul in his 5th. So that means that Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva can relax through this last attempt. Brazil are short of the gold. And here he is. He threw that 43.16 in the second round. It's a Paralympic record. Beat his own mark set in Rio 5 years ago. Gives it one more try, and it's not as good as his best, but still well past 40 metres. Well, that's a very nice little celebration from a man who's seen it all before. World and Paralympic record holder, won in Rio, and has won a couple of world championships, and now champion in Tokyo. Couldn't challenge his world record, but he's set a new Paralympic mark of 43.16.
Parabéns, galera, parabéns. Parabéns para todo mundo, parabéns. Oh, obrigado.
Obrigado, thank you in Portuguese. He thanks his opponents for them thanking him.
Final track event of the morning session. 2 heats in the women's 400 metres T54. Tatiana McFadden, the world record holder, Paralympic champion from Rio, will go in heat number 2. Manuela Scher of Switzerland, who's already claimed silver over 1,500 and 5,000 goes in this, and gold over the 800 metres as well. Sabina Supagaichi will go in lane 8. Jiao Jiquan will go in 7. 4th in 2019. She's won gold here over the 100 and 1,500 already. So looking for a 3rd gold of these championships. In lane 6, Eliza O'Connell. Alphonse of Mauritius, Paralympic Games debut in 5. And here is Manuela Scher. She has 3 World Championship medals over 400 metres. She was 5th in this event in 2016. Hannah Dedrick of the United States of America, gold medalist at the 2019 Pan Americans, 18 years of age. And Amanda Kataya, silver in 100 metres. Will go from lane 1. So that's how we line up. Supagaichi in 8, Zhu in 7, O'Connell in 6, Alphonse in 5, Scher in 4, Dedrick in 3, and Kataya in 2. And it will be the first 3 who qualify through automatically. And then we'll be looking for the next 2 fastest across both the heats. and cleanly away. There's a lot of water on the track, so very difficult with it splashing up into faces and makes things a little bit more difficult. Zhu, who has 2 gold medals already here at these Paralympic Games, over 100 and 1500 metres, blasts out in front. And she looks to improve on that 4th placing from 2019 at the World Championships in Dubai. Manuela Scher also there or thereabouts in the white, coming through now next to the Chinese athlete. Scher in lane 4 as she heads around into the final 100 metres, and she now has the lead from Zhu, who drops back into 2nd position. And also coming through, it's Alphonse of Mauritius, who's going to pick up 3rd spot and qualify through automatically. So 54.29 the time there from Manuela Scher, who will be looking to add to those 3 medals she's already picked up at these Paralympic Games, with those 2 over the 1,500 and 5,000 metres, and the gold, of course, over the 800-metre mark. 54.29 the time. Season best for Zhu in 2nd position, and a new area record for Alphonse of Mauritius, who's competing at her 1st ever Paralympic Games. Easily done by Manuela Scher. Zhu in 2nd. Marie-Emmanuelle and Ace Alphonse of Mauritius has qualified through to the final. There's that water that's flicking up. You can see it from the front wheel and from the side as well. So it must be difficult to just make sure. You have to have those glasses on to make sure it doesn't get in your eyes, and she did that.
The great sporting spirit being shown right across the Paralympic Games, evident in the men's discus as well. The lads from Iran congratulating Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva, and also coming in there, Oni Tapia, the bronze medalist from Italy. Well, that's great stuff. It's exactly what you want to see and what you always see at the Paralympics. Silver the win for Brazil. Olad of Iran the silver, Tapia Italy the bronze. And still the rain falls. No spirits dampened. And a little bit of emotion bubbling through for Alessandro, I think. It's not like it's a first win either. He took the gold in Rio, and emotional about it again. A 43.16, breaking his old Paralympic record narrowly. Mahdi Olad, Islamic Republic of Iran, through a 40.60 for silver. Oni Tapia of Italy, the bronze.
This Manuela Scher winning the opening heat in the women's 400 metres T54 wheelchair category event. 54.29 the time. Season best for Zhu in 2nd, and Alphonse of Mauritius with an area record qualifying in 3rd. Moving to the 2nd heat in the women's 400 metres T54, the world record holder and Paralympic champion Tatiana McFadden goes in this. Bronze over the 5,000 and silver over the 800 metres at these Paralympic Games, and she failed to medal in the 1,500 metres, while world champion Zhu Hong also goes in this. Sherry Madsen, bronze in the 100 metres. Melanie Woods in lane 6, who was 4th in the recent Europeans. There is Tatiana McFadden, who took silver in 2008 and then gold at the past 2 Paralympic Games in this event. Merlin Marie Meunier, reigning European champion, 17 years of age from Mainz. And Zhu Hong, the world champion and the current Asian Para Games champion from 2018, will go in lane 3. So we have the Paralympic champion, the world champion, and the European champion. Zhu goes in 3. McFadden's in 5. Meunier in amongst them in lane 4. So away they go, and it is McFadden who's got out very quickly indeed. She's yet to get a gold medal at these games, maybe somewhat of a surprise, but the competition has been extremely tough. This over 400 metres, the second heat, the first 3 were automatically qualified through, and also gone out fast is Zhu Hong, the world champion, who's on the inside in lane 3, and Tatiana McFadden, as they round the bend there, should come into the lead. Sherry Madsen, also there of the USA, in lane 8, has taken the lead, and McFadden will be in 2nd, and it is Zhu Hong in 3rd, and the European champion Meunier will finish in 4th position, 53.16 the time going through there, so a quicker heat than the one before. Madsen, who's already claimed the bronze medal in the 100 metres, just pushing on the last 150. After going out very quick, and McFadden, her American compatriot, catching up with her. But Sherry Madsen holds on to take the win in a season best time of 53.16. In the red on the near side. McFadden in the middle, 53.81 for her. And Zhu Hong with a season best of 55.00, while Meunier of Germany, a lifetime best for her, in 4th position. So Madsen and McFadden go through, 2 Americans, along with China's Zhu Hong, the current world champion. Smiles McFadden. 53.16, confirmation of that time from Sherry Madsen. She's an experienced campaigner. Here's Sherry Madsen, 44 years of age. She set 3 world records. She won 2 gold medals and a silver at the 2000 Paralympic Games in Sydney. And of course, that silver in this event in Rio in 2016. Amazingly, she retired after Sydney in 2000, but then came back 21 years ago, that was. Here we are in Tokyo 2020, and she's still going strong, qualifying through to the final with some ease. In 1996, in Atlanta, she took bronze in this. A lot of these girls weren't even born who are racing against her now. So Germany have realised there that they've picked up someone who's gone through, and 17-year-old Marie Menya, the European champion, a lifetime best, has qualified as one of the fastest by Madsen, McFadden and Zhu. So there's our final. It is Eliza O'Connell of Australia and Menya of Germany who go through as the fastest losers. Cherry Madsen and McFadden at the top of the leaderboard there, with 8 through to the final.
Some of these athletes are able to extend their careers in an extraordinary fashion. I was looking at an athlete profile the other day, and they began their Paralympic career in Barcelona, 1992, and this would be their 8th.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Athletes out for our next victory ceremony.
The medals will be presented by Emma Kantema-Gaumas, Deputy Minister of Sport, Youth and National Service of Namibia.
ナミビア共和国スポーツ青年支援サービス副大臣。
Accompanied by
続きまして佐々木香織
Executive Board Member of the Tokyo Organising Committee of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事。
Bronze medalist and RPC athlete
銅メダリスト RPC
Evgenia Galaktianova. This final was conducted last evening, finishing quite late, so held over until today. Quite a long wait for the athletes to receive their medals. Galaktianova, a best effort of 680 in the second round. Won this year's European Championships with a 695.
Silver medalist representing Poland.
銀メダリストポーランド。
Rosa Kozakowska.
So Rosa Kozakowska, 32 years of age, gold medalist in the club throw competition. Had qualified to go in long jump competition, but her condition deteriorated recently and her attention switched to this event. Unable to go in the long jump, and a silver medal. Congratulations to her.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing Ukraine.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンウクライナ。
Anastasia Moskalenko.
Moskalenko in the second round put the shot 761 to create a new world record. 57-centimetre improvement on the record held previously by Catherine Proudfoot of Australia. So this just emphasising the great games that Ukraine is having as they pick up another gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ukraine.
皆様、ウクライナ国歌の演奏です。
China, of course, lead the medal count, 71 gold, but Ukraine very well placed, 5th at the moment. Great Britain have actually overtaken the Russian Paralympic Committee, then the United States, Ukraine, Netherlands, Brazil, Australia, Italy and Azerbaijan are your top 10. If you care about such things, a lot of people aren't too fussed about medal counts. They just enjoy the competition, but such stats are of course kept, and they're at our fingertips here on our screens. Our lovely commentary position at the National Stadium. That victory goes to Moskalenko. Here's the result of the women's shot put F57, a big field of 20 and a world record going to Jalal of Algeria. Zhu Mian of China was second, and third, I'll find my notes, was Iyazi of Nigeria, and here she is, Ucharia Iyazi, 47-year-old, who was 4th in Rio. .10.40 with a final throw. Xu Mian, 23-year-old from China, who was 4th at the 2019 World Championships. A 10.81 would prove to be her best and would leave her in 2nd place. But fairly late in the competition, Sophia Jalal, she knew that was good. The 38-year-old from Algeria. Oh yes, 11.29, a new world record, adding 13 centimeters to the mark previously held by Mexico's Maria de Los Angeles Ortiz Hernandez. And a healthy celebration as well. And a victory ceremony coming up for the men's discus throw F11. So the vision impaired throwers gave us a great competition. The rain has backed off a little bit, but throughout this competition it was a real test for the men's balance, confidence. Very easy to slip sliding across the circle, but they did a great job.
Deputy Minister of Sport, Youth and National Service of Namibia. Accompanied by Troy Engel, Chairman of World Para-Athletics Technical Committee. Bronze medalist representing Italy.
One Tapia. What a journey it's been for this man to reach this point. Born and raised in Cuba, played professional baseball, was a pitcher, accepted a contract in Italy, and suddenly his sight started to leave him. He remained in Italy, represents Italy, gets a bronze for Italy. Always been an athlete, with or without sight. Threw a best today, a 39.52. Mati Olad, Islamic Republic of Iran. His best effort came in the fourth round, a 40 meters 60 throw. Had a victory 3 years ago at the Para-Asian Games in Jakarta. Third at the 2019 World Championships, silver here in Tokyo.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion, representing Brazil.
金メダリストおよびパラリンピックチャンピオンブラジル
Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva.
Well, once Alessandro threw 43.16 in the second round, it's a case of shut the gate, really. Only one other competitor got past 40 meters, but they were well short of his 43.16, which is a new Paralympic record. He's added 10 centimeters to his mark from Rio, and his world record 46.10 still stands.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Brazil.
皆様ブラジル国歌の演奏です。
Well, I think a few tears were emerging from under those sunglasses.
皆様パラリンピックメダリストです。
Alessandro da Silva, fabulous champion he is. Passionate one as well. On go the masks for a few more photos, and we're getting close to the end of a remarkable session, really. I've seen a lot today. World records in our first two track events. Quite a bit happening and a lot to enjoy. And still more to come. Near the end of this session, though. Women's shot put F35 was the opening action, and Maria Pomazan of Ukraine was too good for the field here with a 12.24. Anna Luxova with an 8.43 in the second round. Sitting in third position. Could she do better? There's that slippery circle we've been talking about. It's so tough for the throwers. And 8.60 in the fourth would prove to be her best, and a bronze medal winning performance, that one. Maravana Oliveira da Nobrega really attacked the competition with her very first attempt, and it would be her best and a season best. She was third in Rio, second in Tokyo. That one, 9 meters 15. Yep, that's worth a clap indeed, and worth a silver medal in the end. But here's your champion, Maria Pomazan of Ukraine. 11.67. She had the first round lead and went for a bit more in the second. Pomazan getting it out 12 meters 24. And that was certainly good enough to win, and by some margin. Couldn't improve on that, but that was all right. That was good for gold. And again, lovely spirit amongst the competitors today. Men's long jump, T37, eventually taken by Vladislav Zarobelny of Ukraine. Impellizzeri of Argentina, Evangelista Cardoso of Brazil. And some PBs sprinkled amongst the field today. Mateus Evangelista Cardoso. See how wet the runway is, how damp the sand, and quite dark as well. 6.05 in the second round from him. A season best for the Brazilian. Impellizzeri. Right on 6 meters for his first. Competes in the 100 and 200. He's quick on the runway. And his second round, 6.44. A personal best, and he temporarily had the lead. But Vladislav Zarobelny would have something to say about that. And the 29-year-old Ukrainian really attacked his work in the third round and would come up with his own PB of 6.59. Oh, indeed. And he held on for gold. A priceless reaction from Zarobelny. Really did enjoy that moment. And the men's discus F11. Rodrigo da Silva, 43.16. New Paralympic record from Olad, and this man, One Tapia. They're slipping on that right foot there. They're big men, these throwers, and keeping their balance on a wet surface, unsighted. Amazing that they can do it. And 39.52 would clinch him the bronze medal. Marty Olad, 39.68 in the third round. And a 40-60, nudging it out past 40 metres. Only 2 men were able to do that today. Old lad getting the silver for doing so. But he was 2.5 metres behind this man, Alessandro Rodrigo da Silva. Defending gold medalist from Rio. He too doing an excellent job to keep his balance on that wet circle. And a 43-16 wins him the gold. Gives respect to the stadium. See, he's absolutely soaked, courtesy of the rain today in Tokyo. Not too worried as he collects the gold. Well, when you're soaked, you may as well get a bit wetter. Yeah, that's 2. That's Rio and that's Tokyo.
Obrigado, Brasil. Obrigado a todos.
Yes, we even had a marriage proposal from the pair from Cape Verde on an amazing session of track and field. It was raining records. The precipitation doesn't bother these athletes. They're too good to be put off by that. And I hope you enjoyed everything that came your way in the last few hours, and that you can join us again at the National Stadium in Tokyo as the 2020 Paralympic Games continue. Goodbye for now.